Please like and subscribe over at casualmode.co.uk, and you can click on there to find the YouTube and then do the thing I've just said, which is like and subscribe. Specifically on any of the videos on there, if you give it a like, a thumbs up, write a comment on there, argue with us, ask us why our wives, well, my wife isn't happy about me playing Stellar Blade.
My wife.
Bye. Your hair's wet. You look like a boy band member from like the Steps era.
My first ever CD, that.
Steps?
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Think so.
That was the one. Or was it a different one?
It wasn't the one. It was a 5, 6, or 7, or 8.
Don't know what's worse, your joke or my burp. Mine was Boyzone.
Equally cool.
And the only other thing I had was on vinyl. It was my uncle's. It was Material Girl by Madonna.
Excellent. How do you feel about those two?
Both great. Material Girl by Madonna I still think it's got one of the best bass riffs ever. Boom,
Okay.
boom, ba-da, boom, ba-da. 'Cause we are living in a material world, and I am a material girl. You know that we are living in a material world, and I am a material. Boom, boom, ba-da, boom, boom. Ba-da, ba-da, ba, ba, material. Ba, ba-da, ba, ba. Ba, ba, ba-da, ba, ba.
How are you going to explain this to your wife?
She can hear us as well.
Yeah.
She knows I like that song. It's like She-Wolf.
By Shakira.
Yeah.
Why do you like that one?
Why do you like Stellar Blade?
Kept you waiting.
Welcome to episode 13 of Casual Mode, your weekly jaunt into the news and happenings of the world we are interested in. I'm with Karl. Hi, Karl.
Hello, Daniel.
Karl with Kick and K.
Yep. That's
Yep.
how I've
Curly
always been
Cur.
known.
Not Curly Cur.
Not Curly
Kick and
Cur.
K.
Kinker.
Kick and K. Special K.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not ketamine.
No.
Cereal. Clean. Clean in this team.
Clean family fun. A few
Clean.
F-bombs, but clean family fun.
Oh, let's not talk about that. Things that aren't clean. In fact, tell me first, how was your evening? You played
Good.
tennis before? Yeah. How's the old?
In the elbow. It's not good. Yeah.
That was
it's
a
not
shoulder,
good.
but yeah, how's the elbow?
It's all
Not
connected,
good?
isn't it? No, not good. Not good. Yeah,
Injury. You're flying off somewhere tomorrow as well?
I am.
Yeah. Going to the Tom Davies Cup, the famous Everton footballer.
No. No. Going to Malaga.
Malaga.
Yeah.
Great to say Malaga in a Scouse accent, though. Malaga.
Oh dear. I'm hoping I'm going to find somewhere that sells Cruz Campo, but like proper Cruz Campo, not brewed in the old Foster's Brewery outside of Manchester. Cruz Campo.
That's not the proper stuff. You bringing me a present back? Never bring me presents.
I grace you with my presents. What do you want?
I don't know. Just find me something.
Okay.
Speaking of gifts, so Sony want to bring the greatest gift of all home to their players on their platform. They want to buy Kudakawa,
Yeah.
who are the powerhouse behind Elden Ring. So looking at on Reuters, I never know how to say it.
Reuters.
On Reuters, thank you. They broke the story this morning. So it says here, Sony is in talks to acquire Kudakawa, the Japanese media powerhouse behind the Elden Ring game. Two sources familiar with the matter said, as the technology giant looks to add to its entertainment portfolio, The talks between the two sides are ongoing, and if successful, a deal could be signed in the coming weeks, the sources said. Kadokawa's shares closed up 23% of their daily limit. Its market capitalization was around 2.7 billion. Prior to the Reuters report, Sony shares closed up at 0.6. Sony declined to comment, and Kadokawa said it cannot comment, which is quite telling. Very, very interesting. So, if you don't know, FromSoftware, owned by Kadokawa, who I think do a load of anime as well.
They do.
They do events. I think they did ReZero as well, which is a very popular series. So, yeah, manga, just a bit for powerhouse in terms of Japanese cultural entertainment. And then obviously FromSoft as part of their portfolio, one of the, I'd say, probably most influential developers, publishers over the last 20 years, 30 years, from Dark Souls to Bloodborne to most recent Elden Ring games. So you didn't really gel very well with those games that I'm aware of.
It's because they're hard games.
No, but like you've been playing Stellar Blade. Not going to make a joke out of this, but you've been playing Stellar Blade.
Well, I haven't because I bought it physical and I still haven't got my disc drive because it's not coming until Thursday.
We'll talk about that in a minute because that's hilarious. Actually, I forgot about that. That should be on the list. But ultimately, you didn't gel with Elden Ring. I think you got put off by what you called the first boss, which was just one of the knights that roams in the very first section that you're in, and I think you tried to kill it repeatedly and learned very quickly that you can't do that.
It wasn't. So just to be clear, it's not like the golden guy as you first come out of like the tomb, whatever the hell that is at the start. No. It's like it's in the ruins just after. So it's not. It's not even
outside.
Like it's not even like a reasonable boss. Apparently, he's just like just NPC.
Oh, no, he is.
Number.
No, he is overpowered. As in, he's powerful. Like, so you can't beat him until, and even then, he's a bit of a challenge later on. Like.
We still talk about the same guy because I beat him eventually.
Yeah.
After like the first church.
On the horse.
No, man, no. Dan, this is why it's embarrassing. It's in the ruins. Do you know the bit where you turn? If you turn, you get to like an area like where there are ruins. You turn left, and then above you, there's like a guy who throws stuff down at you.
Oh, the big giant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't go left. Go right where the ruins are. There's just like a little bunch of knights. They're just like normal knights. It's those.
Okay.
They were
they
were challenging for me.
Yeah, it's a challenging game. Like I got put off Elden Ring repeatedly, and I've not gone back to play Shadow of the Erdtree yet, which is disappointing considering it's part of the game of the year.
That later.
We will talk about that later. But yeah, I think the deal makes sense anyway. I think it's one that I thought would have happened a long, long time ago because FromSoft, Japanese, they've always had a bit of an affinity with PlayStation. Bloodborne was a PlayStation exclusive. I think the Demon Souls was as well, and the recent remake as well that Bluepoint did. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense in terms of them plumbing to go for a Japanese developer to add to their portfolio. But it's also, I think, Max, friend of the group, Max, instantly went, oh no. And I'm presuming that's because his beloved Steam Deck, he's thinking, well, I'm not going to get these games anymore. It feels like the age of people buying developers to then not bring those games to other platforms is kind of dead. I'm hoping it is, because I think that's Call of Duty and Bethesda games. Like, I can see them coming day one to Xbox, but I don't know what you think, whether or not they're actually going to limit them just to Xbox, considering the shit performance of their account over the last couple of years.
I mean, at the end of the day, if the games are going to sell on those platforms, I'm sure they'll just do a cost analysis and work out whether or not they recoup more from selling extra consoles if they have extra exclusives. But eventually the PlayStation exclusive games seem to come out on PC anyway, don't they? It just takes 6 months to a year. So
I was seeing like the attach rate for, I think it was Astrobot, which is again another game of the year contender, and the attach rate for that was just a couple of percent on PlayStation 5s out in the wild. But when you looked at things like Breath of the Wild on the Switch, the attach rate was like, I think it was something stupid, like 105%, where there were some idiots out there with like 2 copies to their console.
When you say 2 copies, do you mean people like yourself who buy like a collector's edition and the real game?
Yeah, maybe.
Because you don't want to open the original.
I mean, I opened the original now. I've
But
gone
the thing
past
is, though,
that phase.
that's actually for some games that's legitimate because obviously you're going to make money. So
Yes, yeah, it's a very good idea to do it, which is partly why I did it a long time ago. with 2
possibly
games
also
into it.
why your loft roof is precariously hanging on.
She'll hear you. But yeah, I think it's interesting. I'm curious to see what the deal looks like for FromSoft and whether or not the leadership team stay on there. And I think that traditionally in Japan is something that happens anyway, and you don't tend to lose a lot of people.
You've got to think they will, though, because Elden Ring just sold 25 million copies, so you're not buying them because they're doing something wrong. You need to change course. You're buying them just because they're actually good at what they do.
Yeah. And commercially, I think it's the strongest that FromSoft's ever been. So whether or not the parent company, Kadokawa, is having a bad time, I'm not too sure. It doesn't seem like it has. It says on here that, let's have a look.
Just while you're
Sony-
looking as well, like you think about it, I think from the perspective of Kadokawa, that's the first time I've ever said that word in my life. From their perspective, they probably got the most. From a gaming perspective, I know nothing about their anime side, but from a gaming perspective, they probably got the most clout they possibly have. So, like, if you were on their side and you're on the exec team there, you could just turn around to like Sony, like a Sony exec in a passing conversation when you're having some sake, and just go, I've just come back from Redmond speaking to Microsoft. They've got money to burn over there. I tell you what, they keep on asking them if we'd be willing to sell a company to them.
So nice there. I think there's Japanese trade laws where you can't sell to external. Yeah. So in terms of like
screw my
buyers,
story.
I'm sure there's still a means and a way around of it because I'm sure Microsoft have got some Japanese developers on their arm, so it's probably a load of shit. Does say at the end of the Reuters article that Kadokawa's business has been buffeted in recent years. In June, it was hit by a cyber attack that resulted in a data leak and affected business activities. 2 years ago, Kadokawa, the son of the company's founder, resigned as chairman as he was indicted on bribery charges related to the Tokyo Olympics. So, I don't know, maybe Kadokawa as a business isn't doing too well. Maybe the appetite from the family, if they're still major shareholders, want to sell it, or what were you laughing at?
I'm not allowed to say what I wanted to say.
Are you surmising about the Olympics and what? Oh, well, no.
I was thinking, sorry, he's got a dodgy son. No, don't talk about it.
Okay, right, fair enough.
What's on the laptop?
What's on the laptop? Hunter Biden. Oh, shit. So for anyone's purpose, we couldn't promote our last video because apparently we were...
Don't say why.
We were promoting something that had happened in America recently. That was it.
Which we weren't actually doing.
Which we weren't promoting.
We went back and listened to it. We weren't, but...
We had a debate about it and then argued about it when the actual thing happened as well, which was quite interesting.
No, it wasn't.
Anyway, back to FromSoft. It was interesting. Back to FromSoft. So, yeah, I think if the parent company isn't doing as well and there's an opportunity for them... Sony, I think, want to get back into like anime in a big way anyway and expand their entertainment division. So it's not just benefiting PlayStation, but obviously FromSoft is a... first-party developer would be absolutely huge for them, or first-party pub. So yeah, cool, exciting. I'm not sure what will happen. We'll find out.
Did they also do Sekiro?
No, I don't think they did. Actually, they may have done.
Yeah, they did. Just Googled it.
Did they? Yeah.
I got something right about games.
You did? I got it wrong. There you go. Apologies. Take my gamer card.
I know nothing about Japanese companies selling to America, so don't worry about it. We'll call it even.
Might be a load of shit, mate. Might be a load of shit. I'm going to skip over that one. We're going to talk about Dragon Age the Veilguard because you've shared an article at spilled.gg and it says, is Dragon Age the Veilguard one of the biggest gaming flops of the year? So prior to its release, many predicted that Dragon Age the Veilguard would fail to meet expectations. Weeks later, is this prophecy becoming a reality? So it basically goes on to say on here that based on data, SteamDB data shows that it peaked at roughly 89,500 concurrent Steam players shortly after it was released. Although it's impossible to accurately deduce overall sales from concurrent player counts alone, this metric is still useful for comparing momentum between different games, and the Veilguard doesn't look too good next to the biggest Steam releases for 24, including Black Myth: Wukong and Power World, both of which exceeded 2 million concurrent Steam players this year. Forgot about Power World being this year. Mad. Narrowing the comparison to RPGs alone, Shadow of the Erdtree drove over 781,000 Steam users back to playing Elden Ring in June, while Dragon's Dogma 2 peaked at roughly 228,000 players on Valve's storefront 3 months earlier. Dragon Age Veilguard, PC momentum is currently closest to Metaphor ReFantasio, which had around 86,000 concurrent players in mid-October. So they kind of go on to the sales numbers, and what they've basically estimated is that the total revenue is 63 million based on 1.3 million sales. Now, I mean, 63 million is a lot of money. And then that revenue is after platform cuts, so 12% on Epic, 0% on EA app, and 30% on all of the other platforms, including like the PlayStation, Xbox stores. It said, based on all assumptions, the platform sales estimates mentioned above, and the $10 price difference between the PC and console versions of the game, the Veilguard may have generated around 63 million for EA in its first 3 weeks on the market. This estimate might be inflated by assuming a 24% higher console sales figures. So it's saying there's some variance in there. However, they think the budget for it was around about $200 million. So obviously there's 140 odd million there that they've got to try and make up. So not ideal really when you consider I think that game's going to go on sale pretty quickly in the coming weeks. So don't know, what do you think? Is it worth it on your side? You've been enjoying it. I know you can't play it at the moment.
Can you not see my camera? No.
Oh, is it raining?
It is raining. I mean, it's disappointing because I think the game's still good. I know we got review bombed when it came out, which we spoke about before, and undoubtedly that's going to affect people picking it up. I think the people who do pick it up, in 6 months' time, whatever, are going to be surprised. That's actually it's a pretty legitimately fun game. I'm struggling to remember what it's like to play because I've not played it now for 2 weeks. Because my my PS5 disc drive is being sent from Phoenix, Arizona.
So talk to me. I mean, look, we touched on Veilguard there. I think it's hard to say whether or not it's going to flop or not. We're not commercial experts, but by the amounts that have been given in there and the budget of the game, it doesn't look great. So, no. But again, deducing sales volumes from concurrent players on Steam, whilst there is precedent for it, doesn't also seem like the most accurate. So let's see whether or not there's any earnings calls from EA in the next couple of weeks or anything that comes out about the game's performance elsewhere. But tell me about your disc drive. So what the fuck? Can we start by me saying I picked one up for
£93.
£93 second hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how much are they brand new?
99.
So I traded a couple of things in. Can't remember the name of the shop in the Wirral on Birkenhead. And they've got one monobrow between a family over there. Sorry, Karl. And basically managed to trade in like a couple of things and put 20 quid towards it to pick that up. And I thought, I didn't really think much of it. I knew they were available still online.
Yeah.
That is where our story starts. You'd also pre-ordered a PS5 as well. PS5 Pro.
I did, yeah. And okay. So yeah, as we got closer to delivery day, I was like, oh, well, I should probably buy a disc drive. And then I checked online everywhere, and it's like, oh, struggling to find one.
Because you bought all the recent games on disc as well. We should mention that. Stellar Blade, and obviously
Stellar Blade,
Dragon Age.
Mm-hmm. My game of the week is a PS5 game, which is Pro Enhanced, physical. Stick around for that one, actually. Apparently that game's quite hard to find. Anyway, I'll come back to that later. Sorry. So yeah, bought all these physical games. Been enjoying playing those physical games. And got my PS5 Pro and frantically tried to buy a disc drive wherever I could. Realised everywhere was sold out. The only place where you could buy one was eBay, and it was like £180 minimum, which was fine. I thought, give it a week. They'll get more stock. They're going to see this as a problem. But if you can't buy games physically, you're going to have to buy them on the store. So they're kind of disincentivized for supplying those disc drives, people like me who are stupid. So yeah, instead I came across a website I'd not heard about before called StockX, which Daniel assures me is a legitimate website.
I've bought stuff from there before. So StockX, if you don't know what it is, it's basically just an online. It's a version of eBay where it's like hypebeast kind of items usually on it. So if you want like a Supreme hoodie, or you want to get a new pair of Jordans, or something like, you missed maybe a drop and those things are then sold out, like that's where you tend to go to be able to buy those things. So it makes sense in terms of disk drive on there. And I think you posted up in the WhatsApp saying, has anybody ever used it? And I have, but I haven't had an experience that you have.
No. So I didn't know how it worked. It just said like people were willing to sell them for 134, and I was like, okay, well that's not so bad. And if I have to wait a month, then am I bothered to pay like the extra? Am I bothered to not pay the extra 40 quid that maybe 170, 180 would be? So I was like, yeah, I'll buy it. And then it tacked on like an extra 15 quid for their checking fees and postage, and I thought that's extortionate. And then the tracking info came in, and it was being sent from Phoenix, Arizona to their hub in California to then get sent over to the UK. So it's now in the UK, but it won't arrive.
Oh, it's in the UK?
It is, but it won't arrive for 2 days, and I will be in Malaga, so I will not get my hands on it until Friday evening.
Who's it flying with, or who's it being delivered by?
DHL.
Okay. So is it definitely... You don't want to get it delivered here? I'm just thinking like...
It's fine.
Are you sure? Just in case they don't want to deliver it without a signature. I'm just thinking the safe space and all that kind of stuff as well.
This is a safe space.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. So I don't know what the message is here, but maybe don't use StockX, or maybe just plan ahead.
I think. Well, I mean, as long as if it comes and it's fine, then StockX is, it's a veritable alternative in such a situation where I've saved money compared to what I would have had to pay if I went the eBay way. So it's not bad, but it's a lesson learned.
Lesson learned. Tell you who hasn't learned a lesson. Jeff Keighley, the knobhead. So if you don't know who Jeff Keighley is, he does the Game Awards,
right.
Which I could blow hot and cold with Jeff Keighley. He is fine when he's online and on like social media. Then as soon as I see his live shows, I just completely switch off, and I'm like, God, this guy's annoying. And anyway, so the Game of the Year awards, basically all the different nominations have come out for all the different awards that they present. So I'm just going to whiz through them, and based on your learned experience, Karl, not necessarily just the games that you played, but just your learned experience, your gut feel, I want to know what your pick is for each of the areas. Okay, and I'll give my opinion as well if people care about that. So I'll start with... This is my award song. Best esports team. You don't care about that.
Oh,
Best esports athlete. You don't care about that. Best
No.
esports game. Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends, Bang Bang, Valorant.
I'm going to give it CS2.
Yeah, it seems to be popular. I'd go for that as well. Best sports or racing game. F1 24, EA Sports FC 25, NBA 2K25, Topspin 2K25, WWE 2K24.
I've got 3 of those games.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Topspin. I've got Topspin. What is it? 2K, whatever. I've got EFC. I've got F1 24. I would say all 3 of those games are poor. So, I don't know. Flip a coin. Topspin, just because I want more tennis games and they need investment. So,
yeah, can see that. I reckon WWE 2K24. I remember seeing a lot of comments online that seemed to be good this year.
okay.
Best sim or strategy game. One of your little hobbies. Age of Mythology Retold, Frostpunk 2, Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess, Mana Lords, or Unicorn Overlord.
Mana Lords.
Mana Lords. Why?
It's the only one I've played.
Okay. I'm going to guess at Unicorn Overlord, because I know about that. Best family game. Astrobot, Princess Peach Showtime, Super Mario Party Jamboree, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, The Plucky Squire.
Astrobot.
I'm going to say Super Mario Party Jamboree as the family game because that got really good reviews. So I'm going to pick with that one. Innovation in accessibility. I don't know why any of these are innovative in accessibility, so I'm going to miss that.
Diablo 4.
Good guess. That's on there.
Yeah, they recently released a mode for blind people, so they can get around the map by I think it like clicks when they have to go in a certain direction.
Okay, pretty cool. Best action game: Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, or Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, which is a game I'm very surprised you haven't played yet.
I'm gonna say Space Marine 2.
Space Marine 2. Have you played that yet?
No. Well, I have played it at Graham's.
Okay. What was it like on his mega PC?
It was phenomenal.
What's he got again?
He's got a 4090. He's got I think 7900 X3D. Basically, like it's just top of the range. It's top of the range. You think you paid like £4,000 or £5,000 for it. It's got a quality monitor, ultra wide, big boy shit. I think Stellar Blade's kind of going on. I feel like that's a really good game, really fun, great visuals.
Not my wife.
My wife.
Not my wife. Again, one of the funniest comments on YouTube. Why wouldn't your wife like it? Making a joke. Yeah. Helldivers 2 as well. That was one that just dropped off entirely because it basically killed its audience, didn't it?
Yeah, it was fun to pick up and get going with, but then it didn't keep me going. But I think it was a good game.
Best fighting game: Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Grand Blue Fantasy vs Rising, Marvel vs Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics, unnecessary name, Multiversus, or Tekken 8.
So I think Tekken 8 will probably win, but I'd go with Marvel vs Capcom.
Okay. By the way, best action game, I was going to go for Wukong, and for best fighting, I'm going to go with Dragon Ball. Okay, next is best role-playing game, RPG, if you will. Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, or Metaphor Refantasia.
They didn't include the Veilguard.
No.
I refuse to participate.
That's exactly what they want. Best role-playing game.
Have I played any of them?
I don't think you have.
Can you go back to the list again?
Dragon's Dogma 2,
No,
Elden Ring
I'm going to
Shadow
learn that
of
off
the
you,
Erdtree.
aren't I? I haven't played Elden Ring, no.
I need to give you Dragon's Dogma,
Yeah.
No, you've not. So I'm going to guess... I mean, my head's saying Shadow of the Erdtree, but my heart's saying Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, so I'm going to go for my heart and say Rebirth.
I'm surprised. Oh, yeah, actually, to be fair, yeah, Rebirth. From the reviews I've read, because I've played none of those games,
you should play them. I think you'd actually like them, because it's...
I intend to. When they go on sale, give it like 6 months. When they,
I've got the first one. You can just take that. It's fine.
When they're nearing breaking even. Oh, wrong game.
£6. Best action adventure game: Astrobot, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, or Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom.
I think the only one I've played off that list is Prince of Persia, and I wouldn't pick that, so I'm going to go for Astrobot.
Yeah, I think Astrobot as well. Most anticipated game. This is a good one. So Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Stupid name. Ghost of Yotai, which is the follow-up to Ghost of Tsushima. Grand Theft Auto 6, which is the follow-up from Grand Theft Auto 5.
It's got to be that.
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, which is the follow-up from Metroid Prime 4. Or Monster Hunter Wilds, which is the follow-up from Monster Hunter.
It's got to be Grand Theft Auto, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'd say Grand Theft Auto 6.
The amount of memes like we got such and such before GTA 6 dropped. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. Best VR AR game: Arizona Sunshine Remake, Asgard's Wrath 2, Batman Arkham Shadow, Metal Hellsinger VR, or Metro Awakening.
I haven't played any of them. I'm going to go for Asgard's Wrath because that's the game that looked the most interesting to me, but unfortunately not available on the PSVR 2 that I was convinced to buy by Daniel before he then sold his.
Best debut indie game: Animal Well, Balatro, Manor Pacific Drive, or The Plucky Squire.
Not that I liked it, but I think Balatro.
Yes, I agree. Best independent game: Animal Well, Balatro, Lorelei and Laser Eyes, which I need to buy that. Neva or UFO 50.
What's the difference between independent and indie?
It's the same, but it's best indie or best debut indie. So best debut indie, Balatro, I still think, and
Okay.
I personally would say Balatro for this one.
Is this like when you get like Young Player of the Year who happens to also be the best performing player of the year anyway?
Yes.
So okay.
So you get like
so Balatro's Cole Palmer.
I like that we both thought that. Best multiplayer game: Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party, Jamboree, Tekken 8, or Warhammer 40k for Space Marine 2. I'm going to say Black Ops 6.
The videos I've seen of it, I hate what they've done to it. Look what they did to my boy. It's I don't.
My boy.
Yeah, I just don't like what they've done with it. Like everyone's just jumping around, bunny hopping, like diagonally,
sideways, diving.
It's just crap. What? Yeah. So I couldn't give it to Call of Duty.
Okay. Which one? Any of the others?
Don't know. Space Marine 2.
Best community support. So the last one's going to be my pick.
You know what I'm going for from this list.
Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy
Yeah,
14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, No Man's Sky.
Ooh, that's difficult because they have put a lot into No Man's Sky. Apparently, it's amazing on PSVR 2, on PS5 Pro, but Baldur's Gate 3 because it's like the best game in Yonks.
Yeah, I mean hard to argue.
I'm picking it.
Games for Impact. So I don't know about that. I think it's more about like mental health and different things within it. But Close to the Distance, Indica, Never, Life is Strange, Double Exposure, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, or Tales of Kanzara, Zao. I'm going to go for the latter one because I think that's the African themed game. And I think that got a lot of traction online. I think I actually picked that as one of my fantasy picks as well for the year. I think. Can't remember it was me.
I don't think I've heard of any of those games.
You've definitely heard of Life is Strange and definitely heard of Senua's Hellblade, Senua's Saga. Definitely will.
I think I've heard of Life is Strange.
Best narrative: Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Metaphor ReFantasio, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, or Silent Hill 2.
I'm going for Senua's Saga.
My favourite game. Narrative for that's tricky. Probably Metaphor actually for that. I think it's probably better written than Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Best adaptation: Arcane, which the new season of that's out, by the way, and I've not watched it yet because you watched that and enjoyed it. I thought you did.
No, sir.
You didn't enjoy it.
You told me to watch it. I didn't watch it.
I thought you watched it, you piece of shit.
No.
Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles. That's the Sonic one, not a dodgy film online. Like a Dragon, Yakuza, or Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft.
Fallout.
Seen who the new Tomb Raider is?
No.
You know the girl from Game of Thrones?
There were many.
The lady that played the young girl. Not Aya. Her sister.
Sansa.
Yes, who's now
Sophie,
married
Sophie
to
Turner.
Yeah,
They got divorced. Not that I'm keeping tabs, but...
Well, you know, I didn't know that. So I'd go for Arcane, by the way. In fact, know what? I'm going to go for Fallout because I thought it was a really good adaptation. Best audio design: Astrobot, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, Silent Hill 2.
Senua's Saga.
Yeah, I actually think that will win because I think
right, okay.
Fallout one. Best score and music: exactly same picks, but Stellar Blade at the end.
Oh no, Stellar Blade's pretty cool in terms of audio.
I know the game. I got that reference. I'll go for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on that because I think the music's awesome. Although the Metaphor of Fantasio battle theme is phenomenal as well. So I'm torn. Best art direction: Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, Metaphor ReFantasio, or Never.
What was this category I was talking about?
Best art direction.
Is this games or DLC?
All right, get into it. Do you think Elden Ring should be allowed to rerun this year with DLC?
No, because if you bought that on its own, you would be able to play it. So it's not a standalone game.
I'd agree. I know. I get the argument if it's a big DLC, but it's still an extension to the original game.
But they made that choice though. They could have just brought out Elden Ring 2, Shadow of the Erdtree, and then it would have been a candidate.
At least Nintendo had the audacity to name it Tears of the Kingdom when it just basically is a Breath of the Wild DLC. I'm going to go for... You know what? I think the videos I've watched of Black Myth Wukong
Yeah,
the
it
art
looks fun.
direction of that
Yeah,
looked
it
really
looks
cool. Okay, next one, best mobile game.
How many categories are there, by the way? This is
There's
insane.
only another 15 left. It's fine.
Oh my god.
So there isn't. It's only like 4 left.
Okay.
You're fine. Chill out. Best mobile game: AFK Journey, Balatro, Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket, Wuthering Waves, or Zenless Zone Zero.
Oh, no Genshin Impact.
No. Loading screen.
I'll go for Blatcher again.
I'm going to go for Pokemon Trading Card Game on that one. Best mobile game. Although I do think Balatro, having come out on mobile, is great.
Do you not think the Pokemon game's still not really fully featured? They're still working on some stuff, aren't they?
But it's the battle part's enough. And playing that battle game's just amazing.
I can't be arsed going through the tutorial videos, so I've only gone through 3.
I hate it.
Oh.
I know, I hate it. I put it off for ages. I was like, for God's sakes. But yeah, I persevered. It is a bit sterile. Like
Even the UI is very sterile.
Yeah. Great.
Clean.
Best performance. So I'm not going to say the names of the people.
Mo Salah?
But yeah, let's give it to him. Best ongoing game. So Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 14, sorry, Fortnite, or Helldivers 2. I mean, I'm going to give it to Fortnite just because they brought back like the classic mode and the fact that game still appeared. I think so, yeah.
You sure?
It's there to stay, I'm sure. No fucking idea, mate. But
last year.
it might be. But either it was like the classic map. I can't remember what they brought out. But basically, they've done a lot with it, and they did the Lego functionality in it as well. I'm sure that was this year. So I'm going to say Fortnite for me.
Okay. Helldivers 2.
Helldivers 2. Okay. Best game direction.
Up.
The only way is up, baby. Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor Refantasia. Balatro being in this is quite funny because actually the direction that's fantastic and the detail that's gone into that, like Local Thunk on Twitter, the developer, the guy that did it, drops, I'd say at least every couple of days, like a new kind of fact about the game of what he did to make this thing this way. And I think in terms of direction, I would say Balatro. Although there's other AAA games are phenomenal, but I'd still say, yeah, I just like the fact that I can see how the
I'll support you on that.
Past was made. Thank you, mate. Appreciate your support. And finally, Game of the Year. Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor Refantasia.
I don't think my Game of the Year is on there, sorry.
What would yours be? Or do you want to hold on to that for another episode?
I think it's irrelevant because it's not going to win. It's not on the list. And we speak about it every week. It's flop of the year, isn't it?
It's flop of the year. It's a flop of the year.
Here's my wooden spoon.
Here's my wooden spoon. I'd go for Astrobot. I think quite a few people have said if that won, and let's say commercially is a success and it washes its face, it makes some money back, then hopefully it encourages Sony to make more of them. I think there's precedent for them doing that anyway, because it's like the third Astrobot game, but the quality of that as a platformer is absolutely fantastic. So
I saw a video of a guy doing like a speed run, because I've not played Astrobot, and like he's got to like climb up something, and he's like that with the controller. And I was like, oh, that's fun.
Yeah, there's loads of cool stuff in it, and it consistently changes that up as well. So yeah, there's a lot of mechanical fun in that game. Just
also, I'm really disappointed that EAFC 25 didn't get a nomination for Game of the Year, given how fantastic it is.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? It's not buggy at all, and
not
sucking
stressful.
out hours of our life. No, at all. Like ruining our friendship. But if you had to pick out of those, so Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth, Elden Ring, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor.
I think I have to basically pick the game that I wanted to play the most, because I haven't really played a lot of any of those games.
Great content. This is fantastic. Let's clip this for shorts. This will go down really well.
It's painful. I want to get it right, Dan. I want to get it right.
No, it's fine. It doesn't matter. Don't be competitive. Just shoot from the hip. Come on. Gut feel.
Shoot from the hip. I'm not allowed to pick Steel Blade. Sorry.
From the hip. You're not that big.
I'm going to give it to... God, all right. I'll go for Black Myth Wukong.
Black Myth Wukong.
I think that's the game I want to play the most.
I do want to play that game, and I think I'll be shit at it, but I do want to play that game.
Yeah, me too.
Speaking of shit, let's talk about cow shit. So the farmers aren't happy after Labour's budget. We are moving a little bit into political chat here. We don't think we're going to get a ban on YouTube for promoting political parties because we believe this election's now done and dusted. But you've been quite vocal about this on a couple of voice notes to me today. So what are your starting points?
Well, should we give a little breakdown of what the policy in question is?
Crack on, sir. You crack on.
You want me to do it?
My Pepsi. Yeah, you do. Come on. Earn your keep.
Right, well, okay. Well, so Labour brought in a policy where they want to introduce inheritance tax for farmers. So, as it stands, if you are an average Joe in the UK, you will pay 40% inheritance tax on assets. Or inheritance over 325k.
So, by average Joe, you just mean
me or you?
If I want to leave something, or you want to leave something to a family, a friend, whatever, after, that person will pay 40% of whatever you leave them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're a farmer and you put that money into your assets, you're a farmer and you put your wealth into your assets. So like your farmland, your property,
cows.
I don't know if they count. I'm not sure.
Livestock must. Livestock are expensive, mate.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm guessing, but
I don't know. So yeah, if you do that, then you are not subject to income tax. And so Labour want to bring in a policy whereby you as an individual, you will pay no inheritance tax up to 1 million. Your partners, if you have one, then they also get 1 million. And if you're married together in the same household, you get an extra on top. So there's a potential there if you're a married couple for 3 million to be the cap on inheritance tax. Above that, it's a rate of 20%. So they still pay the beneficiaries of that would pay half of what you and I would pay. Which sounds like a pretty good deal, to be honest. But they're not happy about the fact that this 20% cap above an inheritance of 3 million is potentially going to be imposed. Which, it's hard. It's hard life.
So there's a couple of people that were really vocal about it. Clarkson was one of them.
He was.
After Clarkson's Farm was obviously a massive TV show on Prime. I think it actually did better than Lord of the Rings, if I remember rightly.
Wow.
Still makes me laugh.
It's great TV, though. So.
It's really fun TV. It's basically the heart of a Top Gear, but lifted and shifted into a farm, similar to like Dragon Age and Mass Effect, coming from the same dev, but basically being the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Clarkson's obviously kicking off about it. You said that he was aware of this as a loophole in terms of actually owning property.
He did an interview, I think, 3 or 4 years ago, where he basically said the reason he was doing it was because of the fact that he knew if he put his money into farms, he wouldn't pay inheritance tax.
So just so I'm clear with that. So he admitted to it a couple of years ago, that he bought his farm because he knew and wanted to exploit a loophole.
Yeah.
That clearly quite a few famous people must be able to, or must do.
Dyson did the same thing. Dyson's got 120 million, I think. I think he's got 120 million in his farm.
Ah, nice. Okay, there's a couple of other people I know that live nearby as well that are within my industry, so I'm not going to talk about that, who also have done the same thing. I don't know them personally, but they've done it. So again, you're in a position where obviously there's a loophole around inheritance tax. You've purchased a farm and then you pump your money into it, which, like you said before, the actual Clarkson house that sits on that farm is ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah. I know, insane. And the fact he's driving around in, what was it, an Aston Martin? Oh no, it's not an Aston Martin.
He's got a Lamborghini tractor.
The Lamborghini tractor, that was it. Yeah,
which was too big for the thing.
Yeah,
I like him. Though, to be fair, I think it's funny, but I do think he's taking the piss a little bit.
Yeah, I think they all are. So I've said rioted, but it's because we're recording at 10:20 and my brain's not working. They protested today. Yeah, they protested today, the farmers, and there was just a row of very expensive tractors just lined up, and then just farmers leaning against them, not even like properly protesting, just like.
At least they demonstrated that they're peaceful. I don't know. I mean, he got interviewed today by Victoria Derbyshire, and she brought up the fact that he'd said this in an interview, and then rather than addressing his own comments, because he knew that he couldn't really win that, he just turned around and he started asking the farmers, like who were there with him protesting, if any of them were affected by this or not, because she like gave him some figures and he disputed them. And then he went, okay, well, let's just ask everybody here. Anybody here not affected by this? And nobody put their hand up. He's like, well, that's why they're there.
Yeah.
If it's not them directly, it'll be one of their friends is affected by it, and they want to support their friend. Fine. And either way, Labour have come out 30 minutes prior to us recording this, and they've given like a list of Rafa Benitez facts.
It's a fact.
Yeah,
he's a fact.
Talking about facts.
Facts.
I mean, I read somewhere today where only 500 estates are actually affected by this at all.
Because it has to be a certain value for it to be worth anything as a tax. It's the whole point of what they've done. Okay, so you've shared this on Reddit, and the post with little emojis in it, the emoji ticks, which are passive aggressive at the best of times. It says the truth about Labour's budget and farmers. So the change announced in the budget will not impact the majority of farmers. That's the first point they say.
Yeah.
Estates worth up to 3 million could still be passed on by a couple completely free of inheritance tax. It's the fact. Where inheritance tax does apply, farmers will still pay 50% less. So 50% less inheritance tax than everyone else. Heirs can spread the payment over 10 years interest free, instead of having to pay it all at once.
Not bad.
And the policy is about protecting smaller family farms whilst ensuring the wealthiest landowners pay their fair share. Our public services need fixing, and the wealthiest should be the ones who bear the greatest burden, so we can do that. Final point, farmers will benefit from $5 billion being invested into farming over the next 2 years, the largest amount ever directed towards sustainable food production in our country's history. Quite a good statement, to be honest, and quite simple. It's not emotive. It's just explaining exactly what's happened. So
it's not emotive, but does use emojis.
It likes emojis. I got ham, but I'm not a hamster. I can't work the emojis into that. Yeah, I think farmers had, for lack of a better phrase, had a rough rub of the green for several years in terms of production and the costs of actually producing crops, and that's well documented within Clarkson's farm.
Okay, but are they not getting the squeeze there from the supermarkets?
Yes.
Not the
No. So totally, I didn't say that. Yeah, totally agree. Yeah.
There's a massive imbalance in terms of what they're having to, what they can get away with passing on compared to everybody else. Like the supermarkets are giving them a shit deal. Yeah, that's bad.
Shitter deal. They're still making money, but it's just not as much. Yeah.
But if people need to pay more for food because supermarkets are putting the squeeze on, either the supermarkets taking too much of a profit, which I think we all know that is the case.
Yeah, of course, going to.
But if we need to pay more for that food because it genuinely costs that much to produce it, which I'm not. Yeah, I think it's more the supermarket's price gouging, to be honest.
Yeah, of course it is. But then it's like in insurance. If you're using a price comparison website, and as an insurance company you are advocating that, and you're allowing your product on one of those things, you're creating that monster. You are allowing that business in the middle that basically just works. It's an aggregator. It's allowing you to put your product in a position where they're going to pay for marketing and try and promote it. Like you're giving away that marketing right to someone else, and that's why you pay them what you do. The supermarket's no different. Like every farmer had to buy into that, And agreed, like it's very difficult to go direct to market. Like again, you can see that in the fact that if you do a farm shop, you might make money. And to be brutally honest, farm shops do make a lot of money, you know, when they're done properly. So that's a good point. However, if you are creating a mass product of like potatoes or whatever else that you're then producing for one, you're not getting local corner shops that are buying those potatoes anymore. You know, it's not a massive market for it because of supermarkets.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you break that down. Like, how do you stop that? Other than everyone stopping going to Tesco or Morrison's or any of the others, it just feels
we're getting into
impossible.
We're getting into like
getting into the spuds, aren't we?
Getting into macroeconomics. Like, so yeah, we do that, and then those massive companies fail, and then lots of people are going to lose their jobs. And now you'd think they're going to get jobs elsewhere in smaller businesses. We're going to fix our high streets. Oh my god, this is great. We should do it. We just fix the high streets. We don't have to go to Bass vape shops or American sweets and Turkish barbers and whatever else anybody moans about in the Daily Mail comment section. Yeah,
that's it. And then if you just go into the Daily Mail comment section, it's like, then we get rid of the immigrants. And then it's like, okay, well, that's the next step according to what you think, Mr. Daily Mail reader. Thank you, Bob from... I'm not going to say where because I'll probably alienate someone. But Bob from Blackpool. Nobody cares in Blackpool. It's fine. But yeah, I think in terms of like the macroeconomical climate of the UK, like you said, there's so much stuff that we've all and generations of people have like perpetuated by paying for food in supermarkets and expecting it cheaper and allowing that price kind of competition to seep into getting your business and doing all that kind of shit. It's heavy stuff.
We do it everywhere. You know, look at AliExpress. So you know, do I buy stuff on AliExpress all the time? Why is that? Because I can save a quick buck here and there. What is the impact of that though? It means that those domesticated industries cannot afford to compete because they're not allowed to use slave labor or extremely cheap labor or employees who are willing to work from 7 till 7, 6 days a week.
Yeah.
So, you know, basically you're supporting those immoral practices just so you can get a Blag Game Boy Advance SP shell for £6.
Was it worth it? Yes. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough going. But yeah, again, back to the original point. Farmers maybe have had a rough rub of it for like. Let's get to disposable vapes. We'll find a way through that. It's fine. It's okay. We'll see. But yeah, anyway, so stop whining about inheritance tax because that's not the thing you should be focused on. Go and burn down a supermarket. Okay. So we've talked about the Game Awards. We've talked about farmers. We talked about the games. What have you bought anything recently? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I have.
What have you bought? Tell me what you bought.
I bought Mario Kart Super Circuit on Game Boy Advance. And I bought F1 Race for Game Boy Color.
What's your favourite thing to buy for at the moment out of the consoles you've got? You get like a particular buzz, or like is there value where you're like, oh, that's only £4, so you prefer that kind of?
To be honest, I've just been checking on Vinted every now and then to see if there are like any sales. You've got a few games back.
Vinted's the one for that. I know we spoke about it
because you can bundle as well. You can bundle. Chuck them in an offer, and yeah, I think it's pretty good from that respect. I want to start getting a few more GameCube games because I've got like half of the library I had when I was a kid. So you know, I haven't got. I think Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. I think I had that on the GameCube. That was a fun one. But yeah, I got those. I bought. It's not here yet. I bought an Ambernic 35XX for £29.
Nice.
What? It's just unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's just unbelievable.
All that slave labour again, like going to make convenient products for all of us. But it's an obscene price for that. It's so good.
Yeah, and then I bought one other thing, which we're gonna put into a giveaway in a competition.
Doing a giveaway, love it.
Doing a giveaway, yeah. It's gonna get five people are gonna put the name in a hat. Think of the return on investment. Ooh.
If you're watching this, keep an eye on our reels over on YouTube.
Yeah.
If you want to find that YouTube, go to
it's casual mode.
No, just casualmode.co.uk.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Just casualmode.co.uk. That's it. And then all of our links are on that, so you can get to YouTube from there. So I'll repeat that. It's casualmode.co.uk. Nothing in front of it, nothing after it. One word, casualmode.co.uk.
You just said 3 different things there. First, it was just casual mode. Then it was it's casual mode, and then it's it.
I haven't.
Then it.
I haven't. People can go back and don't try and disprove me and tank your PC by trying to disprove me. It's casualmode.co.uk. Casualmode.co.uk.
I can't get onto it. It's blocked.
No, it's not. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else? Buy anything else apart from a distrive that may or may not turn up at any point?
No, that is the entirety of my purchases. This.
Do you want to see what I got?
Go on.
Oh, because I like my art, so you can see me Breath of the Wild pitch there by
Can't,
Willow.
but
You can,
good.
but it's done by a guy called Willustration. So this isn't done by him. And then up there is another Willustration one. But I wanted like another one because I've got a gap over here. So I'll show people. Got a gap and a hole in the wall where I tried to do some stuff with it. Didn't really work. Didn't try and sleep with it. Just tried to knock it out. So got this one.
Very nice, that. Very nice.
So it's a Guardian. And then a little link
Wow.
right up there. And then again, Breath of the Wild. I believe in Japanese on the bottom. So
That's wonderful.
yeah, it's cool, isn't it? So goes with the theme of the others as well, which I quite like. And that'll go over there, like so.
Super.
Hey, there you go.
Nice.
Cool. So
Nice.
that's a bit of artwork.
Love it.
And I also bought something off Sheen. So I've
Michael?
never bought anything on. Yeah, Michael Sheen. So yeah, it's basically the Damned United DVD. Because that's
Okay.
what he was in. That was a good
Yeah,
reference.
it was, yeah.
So on Sheen, which is the app, just like Temu and other things. So I bought a jumper. It's not a
Slave
Christmas
labour?
jumper. Well, definitely based on the material. Really good craftsmanship. So whoever did this one, credit to them. You can get an extra penny. But it's Vincent van Gogh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. How many years has he got?
It's on the. Yeah, I can't actually see his ear on it. You can only see one ear.
Oh, no.
So
Isn't that
it's
he only
on-
had 1 ear, didn't he?
Well, that's the thing. It's like you can only see once. I'm presuming
Yeah.
it's factual. I don't know if it's that ear, but yeah. So Vincent van Gogh jumper.
Is that for Christmas?
Well, it's not just for Christmas. It's not mutually just. I don't think it's just a Christmas jumper. I think it could be worn whenever. I think it's nice enough to just walk around the house with.
Yeah.
Answer the door to the postman.
No, you're not your postman. Fucking
Yeah, he's.
dead to you now.
Yeah, he's hard case him in it. I know, hard faced. Yeah, I like that. I thought that. I don't know if it fit me. It looks rather big, but then again, so am I. Yeah,
Definitely will be a Christmas jumper after all the Christmas turkey. You go, it fits nice and snug.
Do you want more crackling? Of course you do, you fat bastard. I know, yeah. Turkey doesn't have crackling. That's the bone, Dan. So we got the footballs back, Karl. The actual proper football, not the shit football. I didn't even see the England result. I think they qualified for. Okay, so was that tonight?
Last night.
Last night. Okay, I don't know. Don't care. Do you want to keep tabs on the results that we're shouting out, and we'll put an accumulator on while you're in Malaga?
If I can.
Malaga.
Well, I can't open the link, so you'll have to shout it out to me.
Okay, so first match, 12:30. Leicester City versus Chelsea.
Oh, you're on the 12:30 Saturday game.
On a 12:30 Saturday game. I've not had that in a long time.
No, well, because you're not Liverpool.
Well, no, and then we've been doing the 4:30 ones on Sundays because that's just for some reason where we are. Leicester City, Chelsea. Chelsea are going to win that.
You sure?
Yeah, Leicester are really low, aren't they, in the table? Sure.
I know, but it is Chelsea.
Leicester aren't that low. Leicester are 15th, so they're above Everton, but that's not difficult.
You don't think that's low?
It's pretty low. Chelsea are third for posterity. And there's 2 other teams above them, but they're not relevant. One of the teams below us is playing another team below us. So Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest.
That's a big game.
It is a big game. Arsenal need to win that.
Yeah, they do. Otherwise, I think
And
it is.
Forest are all right this year. They've looked okay. I think they're all right.
Yeah.
In the table, they are 5th.
Yeah.
So yeah, Arsenal 4th. Nottingham Forest 5th. So big game. What are you saying? It's Arsenal at home, and they're pretty
I'm going to say Arsenal win.
Yeah, I'm going to say Arsenal win.
Begrudgingly.
Villa Palace at 3 as well.
Villa.
Palace have been looking alright recently, but yeah, they're in the relegation, so Villa are 9th. They could do with the win. Win gets them up. Well, depending how Arsenal do, but could get them up as high as 4th.
Wow.
If Forest and Arsenal draw, yeah. So I'm going to go for Villa.
Cool.
Bournemouth versus Brighton. That's a tricky one. Bournemouth have been playing well. Bournemouth are 12th and Brighton at the moment are 6th. So Brighton are the form team. If you wanted to pick for them,
do that then. Yeah.
Go for Brighton.
We're going to lose our money anyway.
This one's a tricky one. Everton versus Brentford. Everton at home at Goodison versus Brentford. So Brentford are 11th, Everton are 16th at the moment. Brentford have got a goals to the good of 0. Everton are -7.
Yeah. I mean, Everton were doing all right for a while ago. They were doing crap towards the end of the before the international break. They need a win, to be honest, just to keep it going. Just
because they're at home.
Candidate for a draw, to be fair.
Yeah, go for a draw. Fulham versus Wolves. Wolves are 19th. Fulham are doing really well. 7th on 18 points.
I've already put Fulham.
Yeah, good choice. And then the last game on the Saturday is City with newly signed Pep Guardiola for 1 more year. 1 more year. So Man City versus Tottenham Hotspur. Big Ange's Spurs.
He needs a win. He
needs a win. Or I think he might be out before Christmas if he doesn't pick up next couple of matches. They do tend to get something against City, and City are on a bad run.
They are.
What's it, 4 on the spin they've lost?
If you count like the second leg, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So 4 on the spin. I'm going to go Spurs, mate.
Oh my God.
I think
we're going to get odds on this. I think we do a fiver on each way.
Yeah, I was going to say we can do one split the other way, and that can be our game. We can have a split game. Okay, on the Sunday, 2 matches. First one, Pride. Is it of the South Coast?
Southampton?
Yeah, Pride South Coast, Southampton. Dead last in the league versus Liverpool, who are first in the league. So just the 19 spaces between them. Southampton with a -14 goal difference. Liverpool with a +15 goal difference.
Yeah. The last time we lost, it was to Nottingham. That was our only loss, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I think we'll do it. Yeah,
I think you'll be all right. I think. I mean,
next
it could be one of those where it's a bit of a banana peel, but yeah, I'd say you should be comfortable. And the final match on the Sunday, Bilton's United versus Ipswich. So Ipswich are at home.
First match for Amorim.
Ipswich are 17th in the league. United are 13th. There's only a difference.
Let's just do it. Let's just put United.
I know. It's only 7 points. So, I think the new manager effect will kick in. The Monday night game is Newcastle West Ham, but we don't care about that. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fixtures. That's tasty. That be all right.
Decent odds there.
Lad. Okay, so deals. I proposed £3.99 for the Mass Effect Legendary Edition on PC.
That's not the first time this has gotten deal of the week.
It isn't, and it's 92% off, and every single time you get a deal like that, it is worth it. You can get it on Steam for $49.99. or you can go over to the Epic Store where they've got the £3.99 offer, which ends in 2 weeks.
Wow.
We're recording on the 19th of November, so if you want that, go and grab it. Think you like that game?
Yeah,
played the updated version.
I did. Yeah,
you did.
I didn't get beyond Mass Effect 1. But I put a lot of hours into it. It looked great, but Mass Effect 1's always a grind because the combat's the worst of all 3.
I think that's what put me off when I originally played it. But if you want to go over to CD Keys because you want it on Steam, play on your Steam Deck, that's £9.49. That's 82% off. So, your one, Karl?
Mine is Metaphor Refantasio. I think it's £35 on PS5 at Smith's.
Yeah.
I read online that it's quite hard to find this in physical. It's sold out in a lot of places. So the fact that they've got that in physical for £35 already is pretty good. Quite tempted.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I actually think you'd enjoy it. I mean, I don't think you gelled particularly well with Persona 5.
I don't like the art style. I just
I
find
can
it
see
boring.
that. I mean, this one, yeah, it's just refined. And like you said there, if you wanted to get rid of it, you could probably get rid of it for a similar price anyway. So,
True.
worth a punt. All right, mate. I think that's everything. I don't think there's anything particular unless you want to cover anything off. Talked about farmers. We talked about all your purchases. We talked about the Veilguard flopping. We've shot from the hip. We talked about Game of the Year.
Yeah.
And Sony's, looking to get the checkbook out again. So we've covered a few things, I think.
Here we have. Yeah. Here we have.
All right, let's wrap this shit up. Hey, put a bow on it. Let's. Episode 13 locked in. Okay. Well, if you like what we do, go over to casualmode.co.uk. Repeat it again. Casualmode.co.uk. You can find links to the YouTube on there. Please give us a sub. It would mean a lot. We're trying to get to 1,000. We think we're on about 922, 923, something like that at the moment.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of videos on there as well, like recent ones, like unboxing the PS5 Pro and giving our opinions on it. So if you wouldn't mind, pop over there, give us a like. It would mean a lot. So yeah, through casualmode.co.uk. I'm not going to promote any of the socials, but again, if you go on that website, you can find a link to our Discord.
What's the name of the website, Dan?
Casualmode.co.uk, Karl. If you click on that and go through to our Discord as well, then we would love to speak to you because it's a fun old Discord. Or it was anyway. It's quiet at the moment, so come on over.
Yeah.
Come on, you ruffian. Come and ruffle us up. This is every Friday on YouTube, on Spotify. Please tell your friends and keep it casual. Enjoy Malaga.
Gracias.
Malaga.
Nos vemos pronto.
Butros Gali. Bye.